the gentleman, Mr. Bader, was talking that he thought the federal the federal financial assistance thing should be abolished or dismantled. You were moving around in your chair a little bit. You want to comment?
Well, America's future workforce is going to come from a majority of the underserved students of color in this nation. And I don't look at either the Pell Grants or the student loan programs as expenditures. I look at that as investments in America's future. And those are very good economic investments in the future of this country. And providing a college education is something that can be shared by the individual, by the states, and by the federal government. One of the things that you have tried in the last couple of years is to focus on making states maintain their effort. And I think this is a shared partnership. And when one of the questions was, why has tuition and fees increased? And I think my experience has been because states have withdrawn the kind of support that they need to be as a part of their partnership in this effort. So I don't look at this as an expenditure and breaking America's back. I look at it as making America stronger.
Well, thank you, and you know, I don't think any of us have sat on this committee. I mean, I've listened to so many people, certainly out of the business world and economists. You know, that this investment we make in education probably returns more than any other investment we make. We all know what it leads to in whatever field it is. And the idea that somehow we would then dismantle the program and it would return to the days when I was in school. If you drive by the San Francisco State or you drive by the University of California, Davis, it's a far different campus with far more opportunities available to that student body, and that student body is far different than when I went there. Certainly far different. It's a very different law school today than when I went there, and the diversity of people who have the opportunity now to pursue that education. So the idea that somehow we can return there if we just dismantle the federal student assistance, that somehow that's a credible position and the nation would be well served, I just didn't want to leave on the record at that point. Mr. Remondi, in your testimony, you've essentially said that this program is going to have to change given what's transpired here over the last couple of years. And it's a pretty fundamental change that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I just want to be able to make sure that people on the record understand that I mean, I've looked at your proposal. We're giving it very serious consideration and discussing it among members and staff. But I think there's sometimes a characterization that you're here saying, no, we just want to go back to where we were, and I don't think that, I want to clarify, that's not your position, that you recognize that this, whatever happens, is going to be very different than in the past.
That's right. And I think, you know, the federal loan programs kind of mirrored what was going on in the capital markets, and as the capital markets continued to ratchet down credit spreads, we were the beneficiaries of that, and the federal loan programs kind of followed and tried to keep step with it. One sometimes often got ahead of the other. In 2007, that environment changed completely, and credit spreads have widened to levels I don't think any of us could have predicted. We used to raise money at about 10 basis points over LIBOR. Now that same bond would cost us about 200 basis points over LIBOR. Obviously, it doesn't work with the economics that are built into the student loan program today. But we also see that the funding environment's not going to return to those same old levels. And so if there is a predicted and consistently large spread between where the private sector can borrow money and where the federal government can borrow money, it does create an opportunity to utilize that to create savings that can be used to expand the Pell Grant programs, and we fully support that.